What is up, YouTube Adventure family? Today, I'm going to show you how I installed that dual battery, the second battery, onto the Raev Bullet X. I'm getting a ton of questions. I'm getting a ton of messages. And I just figured I'd just show you basically how I did this little setup. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. It just works. It looks good, and it's very secure, which really are the three things that I was most concerned. It just happens to look good. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to take the battery off, show you what a pain in the backside that actually is of getting in and out, especially in. I'll show you that at the very end. But I'm just going to show you basically it's very difficult to get that battery in and out once you get it in. So basically leave it on and leave it in and forget about it. That's the way that should just be. So that way you could charge it. You can still check the power levels on it, so on and so forth. It's just best to leave these batteries on unless it's like a long-time storage or something like that, and then you could take the seat off and do it. It's just a very complicated way of putting a battery on, but like I said, my main concerns were to make it secure, to make it solid, and it ended up just looking really, really good. Anyways, to get this battery out is a pain in the backside. You can see here I added a water bottle mount for my speaker. It fits in water bottle mounts, and also a water bottle mount down there. So to get this battery out is a pure pain in the backside. I kind of marked my keys. This one's obviously for my lock. I've got a kryptonite lock that's super awesome. This is for the big battery. It says B. And this is for the small battery. It says S. To get this battery out, you can see the key just does not even go in all the way without even being bent. You basically have to push the seat down or pull the battery down just a little bit just to click that to unlock it, and then you have to pull it out in a funky way, sideways at an angle to get it out. It's even harder to put in. So once you put this battery in, you got to turn that thing on, pop it in, and kind of just where you could just charge it, you know, back here, and you don't have to take it in and out. Anyways, I'll stop babbling. All right, so you can see it is super weird. So you'll have to literally push this down right here to even get that key to even turn back to unlock it, and it's almost just impossible. The angle is just crazy to try to do that. See, pull down. I mean, I'm telling you, once you get this thing in there, you don't want to do it to where it snaps or breaks, but there. So now you got it unlocked. Boom. It's a tight fit. And then, of course, getting it out isn't really super easy either, even when it's unlocked. This wedge keeps it in. So I'm just basically giving you all the honest lowdown of how hard it actually is to remove the battery once you set that up. Super hard to put this battery in and out. Again, you want to leave that sucker on so you could check it, and so you could charge it once it's in there. But anyways, let's get on to the rest of the installation. So we basically have to take the main middle one out. We will have to take this one out because it literally goes through the battery mount, through the frame of the bike, and then attaches through the metal brace into the seat. So this one bolt goes through the brace, the frame, the bracket that I made to hold the battery brackety holdy thing, and then attaches to the seat bolt up behind. And I also have two bolts that I put back here that are longer than the factory ones. After this little strip of metal raised it, it just allows to more attachment, and of course that's the factory one that came with it, that bolt there. So this bolt, and these two bolts are the original factory bolts that hold down. These little zip ties are just kind of in there, just because there was holes there, and I just tied zip ties in there. It's overdoing it because, I mean, it's so bolted in there, it's not even funny. But to get the seat off, you will have to take the battery out, and you'll have to take this bolt out here, and of course these other bolts to remove the seat, and then I'll show you basically what that little bracket thing looks like to hold the battery mount that's on there or whatever. But anyways, as you can see, I took the seat off. It's over here, and you can kind of get an idea of how I did this little bracket thing here. All right, again, battery bracket, just the bracket, not the battery, is on, but I mounted this on with 2 bolts. This one goes through the bottom of the bracket, through this new bracket that I made, and up through the bottom of the seat, supporting this and just sandwiching all that with a longer bolt than factory. There it is. That's the new one, because it has to go through all this and up through the seat, as opposed to the little factory one that it came with. So you can see I replaced that because this actually helps hold on to keep the bracket on. In this right here, I actually had to drill a hole through the frame of the bike. The only really hole I drilled through the frame, up through here, as you can see, to run a bolt through there. And these are locking nuts, so the vibration and stuff, they won't come loose. So there's another one there, holding the bracket to the bracket that I made, and then one down, holding it to the bracket as well. And after we get the seat on, we run the last bolt through here, securing it and keeping it tight before the pain in the butt of putting the battery back in right here, which you will see is such a pain in the butt. Be sure you turn your battery on before you install it. Just trust me on that for reasons unknown. The zip ties really are just because this metal strip I had cut off a piece about that long. I'll show you. So this metal piece actually came when I ordered the bike. It was like just to secure the front wheel or something, I think. But it had all these like little holes in it. It was a longer piece. You can see this is what I cut off. This is the piece I cut off. But you can see this is just how it was. So I had to drill a hole here, a hole here, a hole here, and a hole there. So I drilled 4 holes and cut it basically. And just made sure the bolts fit through this frame, and then I drilled the right size holes basically. And this is the spare piece. You can see it's a really thick piece of steel, super thick. So rigidity, it's there, super there. So anyways, that's basically how I did it. These zip ties are just there because in the metal, these little extra holes are there. I figured, why not? You know, why not? It's totally not needed, I could tell you, but why not? Whatever. And also to zip tie the battery cable itself. Alright, so now that you've seen basically just how I've installed it, I'll put the seat on now and then run that bolt through, secure that, and I'll show you what a pain in the ass putting the battery back in is. Let's go into that now. How fun does that sound? Not. Alright, so when you're installing this seat, I know I've talked about this before, but these little clips right here, these little grooves, need to go like right here. These little grooves right here need to go like right here. So when you scoot the seat back, you might actually have to push it down and slide it in, especially having this one little extra gap of space. You might, here, I'll show you. So those little pieces of the seat, you got to slide those 2 notches back here, and then that 1 notch right there, which is not always fun, but anyways, we'll try it. So anyways, put that right here, and I'll slide the seat on. You got to kind of like, the seat goes back a little bit, and I just kind of cheat a little back here to see where everything is, because this front one is the tricky one. Once you get this one in the notch, because of the way the battery mount is, you're pretty set. You just gotta, at this point, you just gotta push down. Yeah, push down, bro. Right here. It locked in. I mean, it's in there just because it's so tight. All right, so we're going to put that last bolt going through the battery bracket, through the frame of the bike, through the mounting bracket that I made, and then through the seat, connecting it all. So this right here, super important. And there we go. That is the last of the tightening to go. All right, so now I'm going to show you the not so fun part of putting this son of a bitch in. Alright, so it's kind of like you go at an angle. I'll try to show you. There's this like little lip right here, like that little lip right there. It goes underneath that little lip right there at an angle, like a side angle, and I have to twist the battery, push it in, and then pop it in. It's all kinds of fun. And not this third time either. How fun is that? Alright, so I'll show you. It's just a pain in the ass. I mean, I literally have to do acrobatic type stuff. And man, you gotta be careful, because if you break this key, that's on you. So, alright, so we're gonna do both knees. Because that is the only way to lock that in there. Hope that was entertaining. If you have someone to help you sit on it that weighs more than my 165-pound butt, it would probably help a whole bunch. That was fun. Not. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the abuse that I had upon myself for your all's entertainment. That is a royal pain in the butt, and I don't suggest anybody does it. What needs to happen, in my opinion, is there needs to be some kind of bracket that comes out further, drops this down lower, so it's not so tight here. If this was manufactured anyway. I'm not a manufacturer. I'm not going to manufacture these. So if the bracket came out further, maybe dropped lower, the battery would be easier to get on and off, locking, probably, getting off, just in general. That's probably what needs to happen to make this easier. Also, this is a blender. This allows the draw from the highest voltage battery until it meets equal voltage on the second battery that is lower, and then they draw simultaneously down. As long as your controller can handle it, like if it's a 48 volt controller, it could probably handle a 50 volt battery. Just saying, do your research. Don't take my word for it. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not giving you advice, just showing you what I am doing. Hope you enjoyed. I want to drink some water. This is a pain in the butt. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But anyways, to our next adventure, this is Chris with the Colorado Adventure Channel. Peace.